Hello, I'm Anna, the Yarn Randomizer, and this is my third Christmas short for this year and last. This will be my last, and it's the day after Christmas now, the 26th of December. And so let's get right to it. I'm just going to do my preliminaries, and that is I am the Yarn Randomizer, and the reason why is because for my regular episodes and stuff, I pick yarn randomly from my stash, and then try to figure out what to do with it. And that's kind of what I go through the entire year. But for this episode, I'm covering my Christmas Advent calendar, and also my Christmas Eve cast on that I did this year. And so other than that, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as the Yarn Randomizer, and I'm looking over there because that's where I have my notes on my computer. And you can also find, I have a Spreadshirt shop and that kind of stuff, and a Gmail address, theyarnrandomizer@gmail as well. And let's see, and I think the last preliminary is please like and subscribe if you find something enjoyable here or informative, and otherwise let's get right down to it. So when I finished last time, we were on, I think, day 16, and so we'll start with day 17 of this twice sheared sheep advent calendar, which I've really enjoyed this year. So now for day 17, it was a set of what's called snag-free stitch markers, and let's see if I can get that to focus on that. Those are so cute. And so it's been kind of an animal themed advent, and so this is just an adorable set of cats. Let's see if I can spread those out a little bit. There's one more hiding back there. And so those are super cute and stuff. So 4 of these, and I believe they are these clip-on type that can stretch and clip onto the needle. They're really neat. They're very useful. I've been enjoying those from her surprise boxes earlier this year as well. And then on the 18th, what I got was this build a sock. Build a sock? Yes. It's a blocking kit, and what's interesting is you can basically create the size blocker that you need using these, and I should have had one assembled here, but basically using these pieces that can clip together, and it works, I think, a little better when you push them together on a flat surface. Oh, there we go. So for example, you can build it as long as you want. There is a longer and shorter toe piece, and I will put in the longer toe piece here. And then there is a heel piece. Let's see how this goes together. I'm not the greatest at pinching things together and stuff, but I'm not doing the best job of demonstrating this, but fundamentally, we get that really clipped together. So basically, you can make a foot. That's a really long foot there. And then you can make the top the length that you want. Oh, there we go. There, like that. And then you just use one of these top pieces for the top. And so basically you can make an adjustable, and particularly useful, I think, adjustable in length here, sock blocker. I wear size 11 women's shoes, and so I have to make mine relatively long, but I've got a set of sock blockers that kind of work well for that. But my oldest son wears, I believe it's size 15 quadruple E. And so he has these enormous feet, and I've never knit a pair of socks for him, but this might make it possible to do that. But yeah, so I think they have these on their website. So you can basically assemble two sock blockers of a similar, basically the same size, and have it customized to the length for the top and the bottom. And so that was pretty cool. All right, so that was day 18. Okay, day 19. Let me dig this out from under here. Was this little, so it was a yarn cozy And it was this kind of stretchy fabric, and again, animal themed. Maybe those are those, I'm just trying to think, those are guinea pigs, I believe. And so, yeah, so a nice sock, oh my goodness, I'm stuck on the sock blocker. So a nice yarn cozy. And I definitely use yarn cozies as somebody who feeds from the center of a ball of yarn and stuff. I always find these very useful. So that was day 19. Then on day 20, yes, 20, what was in there was this. It actually comes in 2 pieces. So it's got this little floor base, and then it's got this little flower, and in between each of the petals is a cutter so that you can cut yarn. So for example, if you had this setting like this, you could just cut your yarn over that. And I thought this would be, you know, it's interesting for yarn, but actually I sew, and I was thinking, man, that would be great for sewing, because you could just, instead of having to hold scissors and only holding one end, you could hold both ends of the thread and cut it exactly where you want it to cut and everything. But yeah, so it's just really nice. It's very nice and heavy, almost would sit like a paperweight on your desk and stuff. So that was day 21. No, sorry, 20. This was 20, the yarn cutter. Now for day 21, there was this amazing, I kind of like when I looked at this originally, I was kind of like, goodness, what is going on there? And let's see, can we get a closer, better look at that? So there are multiples of 50 on this set, going all the way up to, I believe, 500 on here by 50s. And so the idea is, if you're casting on like a 300 stitch cast on or whatever, you would put one of these on there every 50 stitches, so you wouldn't have to recount the whole thing once you've got it all cast on. So that's what these are. So these came on day 21. So that was really neat. I have some little wire round hoops, and I think what I'll do is I'll keep these all together on a single kind of hoop, because most of the time I put markers just in a little box of markers I have here, but these I'll want to keep together. All right. So then the next one after that, for the 22nd, was this one that says, that's readable, it says, do the thing. And so the idea for this one is that you can hook it somewhere where, you know, you have to, whatever, if there's a unique thing you have to do somewhere in the pattern only once every so often, you can put this there in order to remember that. And you can use it in combination with, she has this counting chain. Let me see if I've got one here. Yeah, they'll be over here. So you'll laugh. I have boxes from previous advents that I use for storing things here. And now let me get one of her counter sets out. There we go. So this is a counting stitch marker that I've used from her before, and you can use it to count your rows. And so one of the things you can do with this is hook it so it's associated with the number where you have to do an increase or decrease or a certain stitch technique and that kind of thing. And so you can use those in conjunction to help keep track of what you're supposed to be doing when. So yeah, so there's that one. Let's see, and then let's see, on the 23rd, it came in the box looking like this. Now I've got a similar thing here, and what these are these are kind of folding shopping bag style. Let me get my computer light back up again. There we go. Kind of bag that can fold into a pocket that's inside of it. And so I'm going to pull this all out. And so what you get fold that in there is a little, oh, let's put that over there. There you go. Ta-da! Kind of a little shopping bag, and it's got this interior pocket. And the idea is you can keep it folded up with you, and if you find yourself in a situation where you need to carry your yarn purchases or something like that, you can open it up and put them inside. And so yeah, these are really nice and fold up really nice and compact and easy to carry along. And again, animal themed. Got some bunnies on there and some yarn, little yarn hearts and everything. So that was really neat. So we'll set that down there. And then on the 24th, this is, I think, the first time I've seen something like this. There was a gauge tool. And so I'm trying to think of the easiest way to make this visible for you. Let's put it on the back of this. And so the idea is that you use that grid, you lay that grid out on your knitting to see which of these grids your stitches fits the best, to see where you're close to as far as your gauge. And I recently did a gauge swatch, and I have it right here. And I had measured myself as having about 5 stitches to the inch on this gauge swatch, and when I tried out this tool on it, it matched perfectly with the 5 stitches to the inch. I want to see if I can hold that there properly. Let's see, and not stretch it out, but you can kind of see it, maybe see it right there. And so yeah, so it's an interesting way to go about it as far as taking a shot at measuring your gauge. There was a protective film on it that I had to peel off, and it was tricky to get it started. And I'm like, I'm sure there's protective film on this, but I did get that off of there. So, and it has a ruler along the edge as well. So yeah, so really nice gauge tool. All right, I will set that over here. It's going to go into that drawer. And then finally, on the 25th, I got this zippered kind of notions bag. Utterly awesome. And so it's a nice padded notions bag. And so this may take the place of my current notions bag, but just really super cute, and a nice kind of hefty fabric, slight padding on it, and really well put in zipper, and with a smooth action and a nice pull so I can hang it somewhere as well and everything. So that was all 25 days of my twice sheared sheep advent, and I'll definitely be doing that one again next year. Now, I did, so on any other little wrap up Christmas stuff, I got my ornaments set up on my tree, my little knitted ornaments. I'll put in a picture, a small picture. And so I was kind of putting them on there, and I realized I don't kind of have a topper for this tree. And I thought, you know, to keeping in the theme, it should have a knitted topper. And I looked up knitted toppers, and I'll put in, you know, a couple of examples here. And the ones I saw, I was kind of like, you know, I didn't really kind of find them very interesting. And so what happened was, and so I just set that aside and moved on. And I saw a posting, I don't know if it was on Reddit or Instagram, but it basically brought up this one knitter. Let's see if I have it. I should have it here in my notes. Oh yeah, Nora Gauguin. I think that's how you say it. She had a new pattern called Star Bloom. I'll put in a picture of that there. And the thing that's interesting about her patterns is there's some very serious complexity in the structure, in the construction, everything. And they look really interesting. And so on a lark, I kind of looked at all of her patterns. I want to see them, and I like to sort them by how many have the most projects made. And as I was looking through that list, all of a sudden, there in the list was this thing, and they show it right on the top of a Christmas tree. So let me put a picture of that in. And so it turns out this is a pattern called Celestine, and she describes it as a stellated dodecahedron. And it's a free pattern, which is great. And it's categorized as a ball. And if you want to see some interesting patterns, look at the pattern category ball on Ravelry, and that's a whole, what do they call that, rabbit hole, you know, kind of like path you can go down looking at some really cool stuff. So I loved this, the way this looked, and I thought this is perfect. This will go great with my knitted ornaments on the Christmas tree. You know, obviously I didn't have it for this year, but it'll be a project I want to do before next year. Now the interesting thing, it's free, and there was a link to click to it. I think it was a free Barocco pattern or something. So you click on it and that link goes to a 404 error and the pattern is no longer there. And so I don't know how internet savvy all of you are. Some people may know about this, but there's a website called the Internet Archive, and they capture what the state of website pages were, you know, on a bunch of, like, over time. So say if you wanted to look at what a page looked like 5 years ago to see what was there, if they've captured it, you can look up that web page and see how many times they've captured that page and go take a look at what that web page looked like on that time that they captured it. So I took a chance and I put in the URL, the address for the location of this free pattern. I looked back and there were some links back from, I think, about 2019. And so I tried that and I was able to download the pattern from that Internet Archive link that was there. And so that worked out. So I have a copy of that pattern. And when I do the project, I'll definitely provide the link that gets you to the Internet Archive of that pattern so you can get to it. So yeah, I was just really psyched to find like the perfect tree topper for my knitted ornament Christmas tree. Oh, and additionally, I should mention, I want to make sure I put this down in a note. I was gifted a pattern. And let me take a look at that really quick. My library or my messages. So I was gifted another little ornament pattern for the tree that does a little set of kind of overalls. So it was gifted from Barrett Wool Co. And it's a pattern. Let's see, I know it's in my library here now. And I'll tell you what, and I'll link it below as well. There it is, Little Long Johns. So I have definitely I really appreciated the gift, and I definitely have to knit a couple of sets of long johns to go with the other ornaments on the tree, and I'll put in a picture of that here. So that was really sweet. I really appreciated that. And so let's see, what else have we got to cover? I did want to show my husband's Advent, and so if you've looked at my Instagram postings every day, I always had the picture of his Advent gift of the day with mine. And so what his ended up being was this little tool set. So you've got a handle here, you've got a ratchet and a driver kind of here, and a bunch of different bits, and there's a whole second row of bits, if you can see that, as well as some sockets down here. And so this is just a nice little portable tool set and stuff, and he always loves these. I've done these for the past 5 years with him, and they always have something different each year. But besides this useful little set of tools, there was also this thing. And I had to laugh when I realized I'm going to have to open some Velcro here, so there we go. This is a little set that has a bottle opener in it, and it has these little salt and pepper shakers that look like handles from this tool company. And these are openable and closable salt and pepper shakers. It was just so funny. And so that was also in his Advent. And so that's what he got for his Advent gifts. So now, let's see, the other things I wanted to cover was, let me find a place to sit this. I wanted to show what I had done with my hat for Christmas. And so this is my Manhattan hat that I had made for him. And I did finish it in plenty of time and got it blocked. And I will put in a picture of him wearing it. And he absolutely loves it. And so the tricky thing was, I think if I'd thought about it more, like I did a weaving in where I didn't take a ton of care as far as weaving in, because I figured the brim of the hat would be folded up over this section. I really should have done a Russian join with this. This is this is not superwash, and so I should have been able to rush and join so I'd have those be much more invisible. And I also did I kind of wove together, sort of Kitchenered these two things of ribbing together, but because of the way stitches come together at the top, you really can't do, at least as far as I could find, a real cohesive way to pull that together at the top. So I just Kitchenered it however I did it, and it's ended up good enough. And so yeah, so he loves the hat. And so I did get that finished in time, and he got that and really enjoyed it. Now, let's see. Next, oh, I wanted to go over my Christmas Eve cast on. So I have a Christmas Eve cast on from a Hypnotic yarn. And so I wanted to go over everything that came in the box. So now with this Christmas Eve cast on, you can get either fingering or DK, and you can get 1 to, I don't know if there was a maximum of 10 or what, but a certain number of skeins. And so this was the yarn, and this colorway is called Christmas Confections. And so you can see a whole bunch of Christmassy colors as well as the browns and stuff in there, thinking about Christmas cookies and things like that. And so I got the DK, and I got 6 skeins of the DK so I could make a sweater. I think in the future I may just do enough to make like a pair of socks or something like that. But I'll see. We'll see what goes on next year. So I got that. So that's the yarn. And in the box was also a drawstring bag decorated with these sort of like peppermints and everything. So it's a nice, simple bag that has a nice drawstring on it. There. I have not tried to pull that drawstring. There we go. There we go. So yeah, that was really cute. That'd be great for a sock pattern, sock knit, something like that. So there was the bag, and then it also came with some foaming wool wash, some Christmassy washi tape, and let's see, it came with these 2 needle stoppers, cookies for Santa and Santa. And then there was a set, let's see if I can show these well. I did not keep them on the original holder, but there's a set of stitch markers with this real round open type of oh, this is not going to work. Hold on for a second. Let's to the rescue. Let's see if we can get these hanging on here. Let's see if I can show these the right way. Okay. Let's do them one at a time. There's a penguin, a little bear, a little reindeer, and a bear in a stocking, and a little bear as well. And so these are little clay stitch markers with that big round type of hoop at the top that you can open. I find those very easy to hook into knitting and like those really well. And it also came with these 2 little needle cozies you can use to keep your needles together. And then finally it came with this cute little Christmas dish, and I've got this already staying on my desk to, you know, toss markers in and that kind of stuff as I'm working on something. So that ended up being a really nice Christmas cast on, and I did do my Christmas Eve cast on. And let's see how well I can show this to you. So this is the top of the Campside Classic. And so this is a cardigan. This is how far I've gotten. Let me at least show the back part to you. And so you can see how it's interesting because the little blips of color are so short that it's just randomly coming together and stuff. And so it's going to be a relatively kind of busy looking cardigan, but it's a simple one with just a very basic eyelet lace down on the lower front and so I am looking forward to making more progress on this. It turned out so cute. You can see the raglan seam there, and you can see this really nice way the front comes together. It comes with a tab coming out to the side there. And so I've been making good progress on that, which has been exciting. And this yarn is knitting up really lovely. It's her plush DK, and it just ends up really has such a nice texture and feel to it. And so I think that's it for the Christmas Eve cast on box. And I think that's it. So let's see. So yeah, I've shown you everything, and I'm being a lazy bum this day after Christmas and kind of relaxing right now. And so oh, one more thing. I did want to show you one of the Christmas presents my husband got for me. I just looked over here and saw it. So one of the Christmas presents my husband got for me, and I don't know if any of you will recognize this, but this is an old knitting kit, Knitting Nancy, and they say it's French knitting for children. And he found this old kit, and it's a really nice box actually, but it's still got everything in there. And so it's got the Knitting Nancy, the needle that goes with it, some little bits of yarn in there. Who knows what that yarn is made out of? I'm sure it's acrylic. But yeah, it's super cool and super cute Christmas present and stuff. Even if it was just the box, I would have really enjoyed that. But yeah, and you know what? I have a confession. I have never used one of these knitting bobbins before, and so it might be interesting to give that a try. All right, so that's everything from here. So I showed everything from my Advent box and everything from my Christmas Eve cast on and my Christmas present and his Advent as well, and my last Christmas present. So I hope all of you had just a wonderful holiday time frame. I hope whether you've already celebrated or you still have celebrations coming up, and I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve. I can't believe it's going to be 2025 coming up. And so yeah, so I am going to be on my next episode completely rebooting my Yarn Randomizer like I do at the end of every year, and I already know what pick number 1 for next year is. I can't wait to show it to you, and so this will be so much fun. Going through my stash again randomly over the next year. So in the meantime, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and you're receiving kindness and giving kindness. And most importantly, I hope you are enjoying your knits. So I'll see you on the next regular episode.